Dead Season is a mysterious podcast for D&D nerds, hosted by Knocked Prone.
Find more ways to support our show in the episode description.
In a realm beyond the living, a group of spiritual souls, sleuth and through death's mystery, fate decided by dice rolls. Like when a knocked on your beating heart, and now your souls can't depart. Dead season is nigh, cries the smoking gun in the doors. Talroth, Wilderton, not Crown!
Talroth, while you guys are traversing the astral dissonance, if you could roll me a d6, and then Zelbarath and Chai also. I'm going to say it's going to 3.
It's going to be really good or really bad. 1.
A huge swell of astral dissonance crashes into the battlefield. Everyone roll me a death save.
It's a good thing.
9.
9.
8.
8.
18.
18 as well.
Roll off. Chai and Javi, you will take 1 point into the dying condition. Your souls begin to lose sense of their selves as you are walking through this large astral fog. And even though you're still technically, not dead, levels of dying persist while in this astral fog. Zelbarath. 6. Everyone roll me 4 deaths. I'm just
Got me.
We have 6, remember? Don't stress it.
Everyone roll me 4d6 and another 4d6. Okay, everyone drop the lowest of their 4d6s. Oh, that's your new character.
Yeah.
The lost spirits in the atmosphere are cheering you on as they have just watched you decimate the evil forces that were hurting this dead god. They breathe life back into yours. Each creature absorbs soul essence from the spirit's chants and regains 1 lost level of soul splitting. If a creature
Fade away.
It's like when the lights go out and come back on really quickly and you can't tell if you've blinked or if like what was going on. You're like, what just happened?
if a creature doesn't have any levels of soul splitting, so Talroth and Zell, I don't think you do, they gain 10 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
And then Chai, if you could close us out with one last d6 roll.
6.
Temporary hit points don't stack. You guys get 10 temporary hit points.
Are we gonna talk about the giant body we just fought around?
Would Talroth know anything about that, or is that
Yeah, absolutely.
Just random gods down here.
Because you are able to recall the information about Lathander and...
As far as anyone knows, it is just a dead god from a bygone era.
This is where the gods go? Not here?
Of course. Did you think the gods did not die as well?
No!
It seems a little bit uncomfortable that God is just lying there. I mean, is he dead? Is he in there somewhere? It seems like he's being utilized by some degree. I'm just very confused. Should we be concerned is my question.
I think we should be concerned. I don't know. I do think at some point going to the headquarters and trying to put an end to all of it would be an admirable goal.
As far as I know, gods die and come into creation again as part of a natural cycle. When they die, as I understand it, their essence of self is not lost, but rather that essence and power is passed on anew. That current body and identity dies, but a new form takes its place, fulfilling the same roles and duties as the god had before. It may take time, but the world will come into a balance.
Perhaps Puddle will take on some of that. Seemed like that was kind of his moment.
Yeah, did anybody see that coming? Am I right?
Definitely not. I'm glad that worked out for the better. Suddenly I realized just how sketchy it was to be hauling around a stranger with me. But it works out. We're good, right?
Yeah.
We're a lucky group of people.
I don't know if luck would be what you call it, but I do think that the strings of fate have been weaved together very particularly.
Does anybody else see
Yeah, as the spirits are cheering you guys on as you're walking out talking about this.
Maybe losing consciousness in the sea, but it seems like they still enjoy some entertainment. But speaking of doing some weaving, I'll kind of gesture towards the gauntlets we've received. I mean, I don't know who thinks they'd be best at wielding these. I'm gonna try to do an investigation and see what type of
I'm gonna look at the gauntlet wielding maniac to my right.
I'm pretty good with my hands.
Yes, that would make sense. But do you think maybe give it a feel, see if you can, harness its magical powers or whatnot, whatever it is that energizes it.
Yeah, Javi will doff the thunder gauntlets and put on the soul gauntlets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, put on the soul gauntlets.
As you start to put them on, they're massive on your hands, but as it seems that there is some sort of magical essence, since you're a gnome, it shrinks down to size and becomes the size that your arms need to be in order to wield these gauntlets.
It's good. I can work with these.
Perfect. Well, we're going to need to, and I assume we're rounding about the corner to Delry.
You guys exit through the astral distance back into Soul Meadow, and you are able to find the safe bush that you stored Chap and Delry in.
Zelbrass will, little tepidly walk up and peek into the bush. Oh, thank God! pull Delry and beckon Chap out. Well, give it a go. Heal him.
Yeah, make me a religion check.
I'll guidance you.
Kind of just the whole thing that I've been working towards. That's all.
Dirty 20. 2 rounds, 2 make.
Yeah, so you channel Earl's essence through your punch, and you successfully, with a natural 20, are able to punch Delry's soul back into position. It looks a lot more like Chap now. You are able to weld this soul back into Delry, and Delry is going to...
Delry, are you with us?
Yeah, Dad, yes. Yeah, I'm with you. Should we go? Should we get out of here?
Oh, well, I honestly don't know what's next, but definitely going to figure it out together.
Talroth, roll me a religion or arcana check, your choice.
Which poison to choose from?
-2 or -3.
I think I have inspiration. Spend it. Better, 13.
Oh, nice. With a 13, you sense a portal starting to open.
Zell, I sense that the opportunity to transition may occur soon.
Well, I guess that makes sense. It feels so sudden, though. How are you feeling, Delry?
Good. Should I walk through this doorway?
I'm thinking probably, but not. Give me just a moment.
Yeah, okay.
I'd like to. And you want to have me make a check, but I'm trying to remember the astral projection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Roll me Arcana. Roll me Arcana to try and remember the wording on the spell scroll that you were given.
So the portal that opened up is...
We've confirmed we can see what's on the other side of them, right?
Yes. However, this is a final portal. A final portal is only seen by the people who are able to walk through it. like last session, how Chai was able to see the final portal of Earl and was also welcome to go through it, but none of you could see the final portal. Earl just disappeared.
Oh, we can't see this portal right
You
now.
can't see this portal right now.
Can Zell can? Yeah.
Zell cannot, actually. Interestingly enough, not yet. Because you were alive.
I roll 15 on the religion.
A 15. All right, with a 15, you are very well able to remember the wording of the spell. If you would like to read just the text that I sent you.
If I remember right, it's all a bit fuzzy. As long as this tether, and I'll look, like it's almost transparent enough, I'm like questioning whether or not it's really there. As long as it remains intact, I can find my way back to my body. But if it's cut, something I'm not entirely sure how to do, it would, my soul and my body would be separated, and perhaps allow me to pass on.
It is an old practice, one that Reapers used long ago before the complications between communication between the gods and ourselves. It was a method in order to stop trespassers in the Raven Queen's realm, to send them back or to keep them here. I do believe I'd be able to cut your tie or send you back, should you so choose it.
Thank you, Talroth. I think that gives me a pretty good option here. Delry, Delry, it's... Honestly, it was easier to just pretend and insist everything was okay before this happened than to face how out of control it had all gone. And I think I was more afraid of you seeing me as what I was, a little bit of a failure, than I was actually worried about failing you. And I think it's more important that I start focus on, instead of pretending everything's okay, but I just focus on working with you to figure out what's best for us. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'd like to try to move on with you here. And if it doesn't work, then I will follow. I think you should go through this door.
I've missed your voice, Dad. I know that you put on the big voice to assert being a leader or to make it seem okay, but this voice is better. I like hearing you, Dad.
Thanks, Delry. I guess I thought maybe things would be less scary if they sounded in control. Join us, chap. But if you feel like you can move on at this moment as well, I invite you to join us. Perhaps this is some form of closure.
Yeah, Delry and I will see you on the other side. I see the door too. I think I was looking, like I said last time when we talked, I was like looking for like a parent, and like if you were going to be there for me, I think, you know, I wouldn't get in too much trouble. Like, you have my gun, so. And Delry's like, well, see you on the other side, Dad. We'll see you on the other side. And Chap and Delry are going to walk arm in arm, link step through the portal. And the portal will...
Follow as soon as I can.
Yeah, and the portal will... Talroth, with your Reaper eyes, the portal will close behind them. And Chap and Delry have moved on.
It is wonderful to see you achieve the goal that you were set out to do. I know that you have been trying for a long time, and it feels fitting that it should come to such a neat end.
Yes, it's funny, I came with the intention of defying our fate, bringing Delry back with me. Perhaps a little bit of being around you and being here and seeing that perhaps to go with our fate would be.
Many men meet their fate on the paths they took to avoid it.
Well, I definitely feel like I've stumbled right into it as well. I mean, I guess I can't help but hope that this works and want to do it now. But I don't know, do you need help with the headquarters or anything first?
Your goals are beyond important. I believe that if there's things that we need to do here, if there's anything we've learned, actually, from our relatively short time spent together, it's that the astral plane will guide us where we need to go. If there are still things we need to accomplish here, I'm sure we can do it. If this feels like the end of your story here with us, then I'm in full support of that.
Be with him more than you need to be with us.
What? You've been such a fine traveling companions. Perhaps I can part with one more wish, assuming it all goes well. If it goes terrible, just it's fine. don't cry.
That's the spirit.
But perhaps I could make my final wish that you would assist these fine compatriots here in their final missions after helping me pass on.
I do think that the Raven Queen set me upon this path for a reason, and I do not believe that you yourself encompass that entire reason. I will go as she pleases. I'll go as she asks.
Well, perhaps it's time to cut the ribbon.
Are you ready?
I think so.
Talroth, roll me an insight check.
A 15.
With a 15,
Genius.
yes.
Can you add that onto
You
other
can,
people's skill checks too? That's awesome.
Flash of Genius rules. With an 18, this will pass.
Yes!
So, Talroth, you are prepping to cut the silvery ribbon, as Zell called it, between Zell's shoulders, and you stop a moment as you are realizing Zell's under contract with the Pinkertons. Zell got this scroll of astral projection, and you never found out what he traded in order to get this contract.
Is it inhibiting me from cutting it in any way, or is it just something I noticed?
It is not. It is something that, as you are about to cut the string, you flashes through your mind the thought of potentially this could lead to a fulfillment of a contract in some way.
Okay, I'll kind of... Zell, you said you met with the Pinkertons before you came here. Do you remember why they agreed to send you here?
I don't. Not entirely. Perhaps. Perhaps I should visit the headquarters first and see if I can square up any loose ends. I don't know. Does it look alright? Just the tether?
Yeah. As you're looking over the tether, you do notice in very small print along the tether it says "Property of Pinkerton."
It seems your soul is not entirely your own.
What? I don't know where you guys think is the next step to go to, but I guess the headquarters would kind of be my next goal. I hope if going to the headquarters will help us get us all closer. Because you guys have helped me so much with mine. I hope I can find a way to help you with yours more along the way.
Well, this may be one of yours. Shall we set back off?
Talroth, go ahead and roll me a religion check with advantage.
19.
19, all right. You technically were connected to Delry and Chap's passing. That was your 1000th and 1001st soul that you helped bring past the afterlife. And you feel a pull.
Is it... Talroth, for the most part, is okay with going, as long as it's what the Raven Queen wants, as long as there's... Basically, the headquarters is something I would have focused, thinking that the Raven Queen, needed it or could be helped by it. If I'm sensing that she's fine with me passing on and going on...
Roll me, just a luck check.
18.
18. You feel the pull of the Raven Queen that would potentially allow you to move on into the next life. However, before you have the thought of I want to jump into the next life, you remember a person from your past, Trasvac, the Lich, the Defiler of Life, the person who... go ahead and tell me your backstory with Trasvac.
Yeah, for the most part, Talroth was raised in a village that that worshipped the Raven Queen, focused on death and the transition of life to the afterlife, about making that natural process and being trained to help aid in the process. And as Talroth started reaching probably his 70s or 80s as an elf, so probably his early 20s as a human, he was basically recruited because his village had found out that a lich was basically hiding away, which was the ultimate defiance of what the Raven Queen stood for, the damning of life for someone's eternal life, and the sacrifice of other lives to sustain that life. And so as such, he geared up with the rest of his village in an attempt to stop this great evil, and Talroth was felled attempting to combat this lich.
You remember being felled by this lich, and you are feeling... Ooh, let's just go this route. A portal opens. You are recalling Trasvac, and something in your mind is questioning, why is Trasvac? Why do I feel this connection to Trasvac? Why do I feel this unfinished business after I've finished this business? And the portal opens, and above it you see a little counter that says souls reaped. 1,000 souls is required. You would be able to transfer the required funds into it. However, you feel some sort of connection.
And as I feel, I'll just kind of say a quiet prayer to Jewel, and just tell the Queen I will be along shortly. After years of service, there's one last thing I need to look after.
Absolutely. And the soul portal, are you sending Raven through the soul portal, or Jewel, not Raven?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so the soul portal opens, Jewel lands on your arm and will fly through the soul portal, and the soul portal will close. And also, you get the sense that something's off. Everyone, roll me a vibe check. What's the vibe?
14.
Yeah.
Oh man, you
Natural one.
you harshed it hard.
19.
19.
Chai and Zelbarath, you watch as Talroth is standing in front of his potential final portal. You can't see necessarily the final portal. You can see the aura around the portal. You were able to kind of make out, especially Zelbarath being connected to Delry and Chap in such a way, you were able to see the aura around this portal. It seems the aura that Talroth was exuding and the aura of the portal did not quite match. Both of you roll me history checks. 7?
9.
No points of inspiration needed? Your only point of inspiration.
14.
Oh,
A 14.
better.
All right. With a 14, Reapers, you have heard from Talroth and from the grumblings around the Soul Meadow that Reapers require 1,000 souls to pass on. It appears that Talroth, though having filled past his quota, has not filled past his quota. Something about the souls that Talroth has reaped is not sufficient.
As I see him drifting towards the light, as some say, I'll just reach out to him. Talroth, I can't see your portal, but I can see enough of what's going on here. I'm just not sure if everything seems right. Are you sure about this?
I'm sensing the same. It didn't feel the same as like. I know you're a Reaper, but it didn't feel the same as Delry's or Chaps.
I don't want to step on your toes. I've been here a lot less long than you.
I do sense that I've something yet to be completed here. I'll see it through.
Are you sure you have all the souls you need?
I don't see why not.
Could it, this is really just speculation, but is it possible with all the shifts in the who's running the Reapers and stuff? Some of the souls could have been siphoned off.
It hadn't occurred to me. I figured a soul was counted based on its unique essence, rather than the weight of that essence. Either way, I need to remain here, and here I will remain.
Roll me an insight check, Talroth, with advantage.
A 21.
Wow. Okay, with a 21, Chai and Zelbarath, both bringing this up and bringing up the feeling that you kind of also felt of like this tie. You start to remember all the souls that Lady Pinkerton was in assistance with the other Reapers, and how Lady Pinkerton was taking pieces of the souls, taking memories from the how the Iker was taking the memories from the souls, and how Lady Pinkerton was taking the items of importance that people brought with them to the afterlife as payment. And you are starting to realize that potentially the Pinkertons are keeping portions of each of the souls that the Reapers are reaping for their own nefarious purposes.
Now that you mention it, Sel, I do wonder if the power of our items and all towards Chai and her cooking set don't hold part of ourselves in them. I think we'll need to completely free their souls and essence. If parts of them remain behind, they aren't able to fully transition.
Well, I think I've got a pretty good grasp on now what we need to do. Talroth, you need to find out how to complete the transition of many of those souls. Chai, you're looking for your daughter still. Javi, I've never asked you though, what you need.
I need to fix him. Back in my memory, he was corrupted. He acted so strange. And I haven't had time to fix him yet. He needs me. I need to fix him.
Do you have any ideas, any thoughts?
I just needed time to sit down and work on him. But we've had more pressing matters, you know. I didn't think I'd just sit down and I'll work on him right here. There's soul portals here and soul portals there.
Well, I mean, you have been working really hard to help us with our goals, and now feels like it's time to rest, perhaps.
We could rest. I would very much like to work on it.
I'd like to assist you, if that's okay.
If there's any ways we can help, let us know, because that is an important goal. And overall, I'm sensing a theme that should have been. Maybe we should have had the foresight to see a little more, but I feel like in one way or another, the Pinkertons are getting in the way of being able to just accomplish what we need to do. So, even though I think we're all eager to get to the next checkpoint, to do the next thing, for ourselves, maybe it is going to be time to, hunker down, heal up, prepare ourselves, but to fix this problem at its core. Because it does seem like Pinkertons are the problem at its core.
Well, if we are all going to spend at least another day together, Chai, would you be willing to grant us your cooking one last time?
Absolutely, I would. If that's how I can help, then I would be honored. I'll start whipping up a dish.
I'll give you guidance for the dish as well.
Oh, nice. And then Zell is helping out Javi. Zell and Javi, go ahead and roll me a d20.
Natural 20.
Nice. I was going to say, whichever one is higher, Javi, you can add your Arcana skill to. So with a natural 20, you're definitely going to be able to spend this time on Finn and to start fixing him. So go ahead and describe with me what a natural 20 looks like with your fixing of Finn or your taking apart of Finn.
First of all, Javi's going to. He usually works outside of his suit, so he's gonna doff his suit and kind of set it up in a way almost like it's a little bit of a table and pop Finn out and just almost have to like coax him a little bit like, it's gonna be okay. I'm gonna fix you. I just need to take you apart a tiny bit. Just wait, it'll be fine. Okay, and so then as he does that, he's gonna deactivate Finn.
Yeah.
And start just disassembling him slowly, intricately, carefully. Piece at a time. like handling the most precious cargo. You've never seen Javi, hands so steady, mind so focused on something, as he's just trying to take them apart and find, is there an issue with his coding, or just find what could potentially have caused him to act outside of his programming.
Yes. So you, with a natural 20, you were able to fully take him apart, fully inspect all of these pieces. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with Finn. Nothing at all. But as you start to put him back together, and I assume turn Finn back on, kind of a little bit in defeat, and Finn, as you put him back together, and you power him on, notices that you are distraught and looking for something that is wrong. Finn is going to hop up from this mini dissection table of sorts that you use to take him apart, hop to the portion of your suit that, if you recall, was the portion of your suit that Finn had destroyed on the other Javi suit that he had seemed to have experience with. As he dives in, army crawl through the suit for a little while, he is going to pull out a small microchip from your suit that has been robotically disassembled, seemingly by Finn, that says property of the Pinkertons. Upon further inspection of this chip, Javi, with a natural 20, you find that it has a recursive mind control spell that can only affect an Ichor-infused target. When activated, it seems the only way of stopping this chip would have been to destroy the chip, which in so would stop the heart of the victim/user. Go ahead and tell me what Javi remembers at the end of his life.
Last memories he has is suiting up for the final breakout. This final, after years and years of working on the suit, not realizing how much they knew about it. Finally, not just Mach 1, like Mach, this is the one.
Mm-hmm. That written on the side.
Before I die.
Yeah.
And putting Finn in, gearing up, and getting ready to go for the exit. And that's the last thing he remembers.
Yes, and as you, with this natural 20, are going to re-recall some information from dying, and Iker took over your eyelids as you donned this suit, and you grew in huge size, essentially destroying the factory that you were once in. Finn was essentially, you had become the monster that the Pinkertons had wanted to create from you. You remember the portals that you looked through that had scientists writing down your inventions, and it seems that during one of your times on the torture table, the scientists had implemented a microchip that would have mind-controlled Javi for the Pinkertons forever. And so in order to not have Javi be mind-controlled by the Pinkertons forever, Finn, in an act of desperation and love, destroyed its creator.
So Finn killed Javi. As all that comes like rushing back in, and as he's powered on, so Finn just gone through, and I'll say at this point he's probably come back out, and he's got the little microchip, and everything comes rushing back in. He'll just stare at him, and he'll say, "You saved me. You saved me." And he'll just hold him tight, and that's it. He won't say anything else.
And Finn will have small chirps, and it seems that whatever was afflicting Finn before with the sparks has seemed to have resolved. And the majority, you guys have all done a great job in progression through the afterlife, helping save Delry and realizing that you were tied to the Pinkertons, realizing that the Pinkertons have siphoned portions of the souls that you've been reaping, finding that you were going to be property of the Pinkertons but had been destroyed by your own creation, and helping your son move on and finding a new afterlife that you could be with the people that are more important to you than even Eldath. And you are all gearing up. You finish your long rest. You see in the distance as the astral dissonance is going to clear for once. This has never happened to Talroth as far as you've known, and in the far distance you see a huge falsely departed headquarters. You can see way in the distance, but you expected it to look, I don't know, differently. What would everyone have kind of expected a falsely departed headquarters to look like?
Was seeing it like one of those castles in the Nether in Minecraft.
Nice. Yeah.
Like one of those random castles like way out in the middle of nowhere. It's all sketch looking.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like essentially old prominent building that has fallen into ruin.
Mm-hmm.
And
like an old desecrated chapel is kind of the thought I had.
Zell, actually, your interpretation almost seems the most accurate as you look, and it almost is reminiscent of a church of sorts. However, large billows of smoke is coming from the top, and it seems that this is not, with just everyone's passive insight, this is not a church, however. This is a phylactery factory.
Nice.
That the falsely departed are using to harvest souls. And with that, I believe that is where we're going to end our session for the night, as you are all gearing up to head into what could be the final dungeon of this series. And so thank you so much for joining us here today. If you enjoyed this podcast, please go on over to... Actually, if you enjoyed this podcast, go ahead and leave a review. I want to start in the final episodes of this arc. I want to start shouting out some of the great reviews that we've had on our podcast, because that just, it warms my heart a little bit to see what people think of our podcast and not
really
hear
think
it all.
Talroth
So
deserves more magical items. You don't give him enough attention.
I'm just going to read a few that I've missed. But incredible podcast, says D&D Chaos. After 3 months of searching, I've finally found a completely clean D&D podcast with a great story and all the chose of my own D&D campaign. So thank thank you, D&D Chaos, for leaving us a sweet review of our show. And if you want to hear your own review read off, like, for instance, says, a lot of fun, solid plot, and cast. So thank you all for being a solid plot and cast. It's WSGYFXGHY. How would you say that? Oh, that's me. Thank
Short
you.
for Tony.
Yeah. I'm the host and Grin Reaper of this Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventure, and I'm joined here by the players to my left.
Brooklyn playing Chai.
Alec playing Javi.
Mason playing Talroth.
Danny playing Zelbrath Wilderton.
Thank you so much for joining us. Please remember, if life knocks you flat on your back, all you got to do is keep rolling, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your afterlife. Goodbye.